When the emotions are riding high, it's very difficult for one to find a logical solution to that, because emotions are so powerful, in the sense that that energy is so overpowering that sometimes no logical explanation, no rationalization can actually help overcome that. But why does that happen? Let's say if you are experiencing high anxiety in this moment, how do you approach it? What do you do about it? To, to understand this, let's explore it. What we call as emotions, and we label them differently as guilt, shame, malice, resentment, envy, and all other types of emotions. We have created these divisions and we think that they are real. We think that shame is very different from guilt, or guilt is very different from envy. While on the surface, they appear to be very different, but underneath the current is the bare sensation, which is the same. So, when the sensation is the same, we need to examine what is the sensation. Is sensation is even real? Even the sense of individuality is a sense. That means I exist as individual when I think I am an individual. But in my daily functioning, things are simply happening. In the stream of consciousness, content appears and disappears. The content can be anything. Let's say an emotion like anxiety. The anxiety appears, but where does it appear from? That's the question. Because we are trying to find a solution to anxiety or to other afflicting emotions. But we are not examining as to where they arise from. So, from what I understand, at the root is the sense, the sensation. And when the sensation is gentle, it is usually not a problem. But when the sensation is high or severe, then we give it different names depending on the movement it takes. But at the root of it, all it is sensation, the movement. So, what is this movement? And what can be done about this movement? The moment we try to conceive a solution to the problem of movement, the sensation, we are back into the trap. And that is why, despite all teachings, despite all theories, and all the knowledge that is available out there, we are not able to find a solution to the problem of anxiety, envy, jealousy, hatred, malice, or any other emotion that we experience, irritability, restlessness. Because they stem from a sense of separate existence. And when they stem from separate existence, they create divisions in the mind. So mind's nature is to create divisions. Mind cuts everything into two. Mind creates duality. That is its nature. And it is by design, because to have a meaningful interaction in the world, duality is required. But we get caught up in duality. We resist duality. We want pain, but we don't. We want pleasure, but we don't want pain. That resistance creates more and more sensation, more and more afflictions. So I want to get rid of the anxiety. So I chant a mantra, sit in meditation, consult spiritual gurus, go to them, touch their feet, and ask them that I have this severe problem. I have anxiety, terrible anxiety, and please help me, please take me out of it. I'm trying to find a desperate solution to a problem, but I'm not examining the source of that problem. I'm not at all interested in that contemplation as to where the problem comes from. I'm so caught up in my own anxiousness, in my own troubles, that I'm getting involved in the content and I'm enjoying the content. Whether I may claim that it is debilitating and it is not helping me to function in the society, in the world, but I'm so caught up in my own story, in my own web of thoughts, I don't want to escape it. I don't want to break it. The moment I try to go beyond, I find something which is extremely uncomfortable, something which is extremely challenging for me to face head on. And the concept I have in this regard is that all of these sensations are arising out of nothingness. There is not some thing as such from which another thing arises. That's all dualistic thought. In duality, you see something arising from another thing. But the moment you trace back, you go back, try to find the source, you eventually land up at nothingness. So the question is, why am I so scared of being nothing when it can be immensely liberating? Why am I so scared of touching these fragments of my mind which are creating pain and suffering? I am divided by religion. I am divided by class, culture, society, tradition. I am divided by so many things. I am divided by my gender. Why am I so afraid of being nothing? Why cannot I just face the fact that I don't mean anything at all in this world? And there is not a slightest of thing that I do to make any meaning, to make this world any better than it is today. All I'm doing is I'm completely enjoying the play of the fragmented mind, and I'm completely involved and caught up in my own drama. And I'm creating these fragmentations. I am this, I am that. And the whole barrage of emotions that are produced, they rule me. These emotions that I say that I am highly anxious, I want to take medications, I want to get treatment, I want to be good, I'm violent, I want to get rid of this violence. But what am I? Am I even taking a step in that direction? I'm so afraid, I'm so scared to do self-contemplation, to do self-inquiry as to what is the source of all of this? Where is it all coming from? I don't want to investigate that, because that drops my illusion of separate existence. And that is also a sensation. So to simplify it, let's say that all of it is just sensation. It's just manifesting in different forms to different inputs. Sometimes there is shame when a certain input is triggered. And let's say I get caught in an unholy act and the shame triggers. And I label it as shame. And I say, I don't want to ever feel that again. Or let's say that I imagine a future scenario. Let's say of me getting bankrupt or something like that, losing all my money or losing my loved ones or losing my partner. And then I create anxiety. Now I am continuously dabbling between these fragmentations that my mind has created, different sensations. But the root of it is one and the same. And if we go deep into that, there may be a possibility where it is seen for what it is. It may bring the attention, the awareness to its most primal form, which is completely free of time, which is completely free of what happened in the past, or which is completely free of the content that runs in my consciousness. I am not governed by that because I am that awareness. The moment I get caught up in content, I become the content. I become the shame, I become the guilt, I become the malice, I become the anxiety. And then it's just back and forth between different places, between different things, because mind doesn't want a solution. If you're hoping that your mind will give you a solution to get out of this rut, that's not going to happen. You will over and over again find yourself getting entangled in one of these fragmentations. So the only possibility that I see is to investigate and go beyond all these sensations, all these fragmentations, and see where they are arising from. It requires the courage to accept the fact that I am nothing at all, and then that I may give myself this idea that I belong to a nation, I belong to a religion, I belong to this group, that group, this region, that region. That is just going to get me more and more involved in this division, where I cannot find any peace, where my leaders, my gurus also did not find any peace. So what is the solution for me? There is no solution to mind's problem because mind's nature is entanglement. Mind enjoys the play of sensation. Mind itself is a sensation. It is all sensation. So sensation cannot be changed or subsided by using sensations. So thinking intellectually, trying to come up with a solution, a logical or a rational solution to the problems of human emotions is not going to help, because you may be a brilliant scientist, you may be a brilliant writer, you may be a poet, but if you are ruled by your emotions, your intellect will be subservient to your emotions. Your intellect has no chance. Your rational faculties have no chance against your emotions. Even if you say that you are filled with love, you will spit out venom when you are under the grips of your fragmented mind. When all that is to you are sensations and nothing more. So the more you believe in the story that you are a separate individual living a separate life, and that you are somehow different from the rest of humanity, you are caught up in this web of drama. Your life is one big drama. So either have the courage to go beyond and look into your very nature. What is your nature? It will be uncomfortable, extremely uncomfortable. It will hit you like a rock, like a ton of rock. But there is no other way, there is no other possibility. Either it is through that or it is not at all. And in that, you will find that a solution is not required to any of these problems, because these problems are mere sensations. They are just like waves in the ocean. You may classify different waves based on different height. You may call some as high wave or low wave, high anxiety, low anxiety, but they are all the same. They come from consciousness, they subside into consciousness. And consciousness is something which you cannot grasp, because consciousness is both stillness and movement. The stillness is concealed in the movement, and the movement is the stillness. You are trying to identify movement using movement. That means you're trying to find solutions to your emotional problems, because of which we have wars today. We have divisions today, discrimination and other problems today. You're trying to find solution to that problems intellectually, which is just another movement. And this will not happen. At some point, the emotions begin to die down, or your involvement in them begins to reduce, because you see the interplay of this, and you see the drama it creates, and you see that there is no benefit to it, that it doesn't solve a thing. So if this really, if this makes any sense to you, don't try to do anything to solve the emotional problem, but let the wave of emotions subside. And in that subsidence, you will discover yourself as the ocean. And ocean there's no need to do anything to know the ocean, because ocean by nature is stillness. Your separate existence, which you think is real, it is a sensation. It is just a ripple in the pond. So at some point it will just fade away and dissolve back into that pond. So make the investigation, but don't make this investigation with the aim of finding an answer. Just make the investigation. Unless you enjoy your drama, unless you want to relish in your own pool of misery, then that's up to you. But if not, be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself and face it one time. Thank you for listening. I just wanted to share this short message with all of you. Thank you, and take care, all of you.